both in it, right?
Yeah, we'll talk. Good. Ladies and gentlemen, it's recovery time again with our favorite guy. Anytime Jason from the state of Utah gives us a call or he's with us, it used to mean we were getting citations. Now it means we get access to really cool stuff. So, shipwreck back in the 80s, right?
Yeah, there was a barge that was transporting some equipment. Storm came up, some really high winds, and gave them some problems.
From what we understand, the records are kind of vague, but it was mid-80s. Antelope Island had a big ranch on it, still does, but it's not as big anymore. And I've told you guys this time and time again, the Great Salt Lake looks just like a little baby pond, especially right now because the water level's low. And these guys used to tell me, like, be careful if you go out there, those waves can get big. And I'm like, well, like 6, 8 inches? No. Dude, I was out there one night, I think I told you guys this, in my Army boat, and we got rocked. And these were only like 3, 4, 5 foot rollers, and they were huge. The waves that knocked this thing over had to be probably 8 foot. This crane is kind of a, it's just like a 4-wheel drive crane with a huge boom. Boom is fully extended. It's tipped on its side. It's about half a mile off the tip of Antelope Island. So to get there, back in the day, you would have had to, you know, take a barge or something out there. Since this side of the lake's been dry for quite a while, we're hoping the ground is stable. Obviously the HET weighs a lot. We have new high flotation tires on the HET, so it's got a lot more, you know, a lot less ground pressure. The plan is to basically use the wrecker on the HET, drag the crane out, and see what happens. But I'm really excited for this one because once we get out here, it's like you're on another planet. I say this every time I'm out in the middle of the Great Salt Lake, but once you see you're standing on this lake bed, and it's just like you're in the middle of nowhere. It's literally the middle of nowhere, but you're 20 miles from Salt Lake City. So let's get going. All right, guys, I gotta tell you, I'm so freaking pumped for this vlog today. Simply because you guys already know I love the Great Salt Lake. I love coming out here. I love cleaning up public lands. You guys know that that's like one of our favorite things to do. We do donate all of our time and energy and resources to do this, but I almost feel like I should have to pay to do it because we love doing it so much. But the state's been awesome to work with. We love it. But we do have something, we got a lot of cool stuff to show you guys today. We're gonna be debuting the wrecker in the setting that it was meant for, which is recovering vehicles, not, you know, lifting us up and down mine shafts. And this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is our newest giveaway truck. And you may be thinking, nah, Dave, that's your Kenworth, that's your heavy haul truck. Nope. This is one identical. The only difference is this is a tandem axle, not a triaxle. This is newer than mine, but we built it to be identical to my heavy haul truck, and the giveaway starts right now. We're giving away a full turnkey business, meaning truck, Craftsman step deck trailer, or we'll get you, if you don't want a full step deck, we'll trade you for like a dry van or a reefer or something. If you don't have your CDL, we'll get you your CDL. We will help you get your first load, and literally, you won't just have a truck and a trailer, you're gonna have your own freaking business. And trucking is hot right now. Like, if you're a good owner and operator, you know what you're doing. Like, I just paid, for example, 20 grand to get a truck just like that, actually, shipped from Florida to Utah. $20,000, guys. I mean, you gotta pay for fuel, you gotta pay for maintenance, you gotta pay for that stuff, but I'm telling you right now, if you're looking to be self-employed, looking to make some money, you should definitely enter this giveaway. Hands, you cannot enter this giveaway.
Why?
I've seen your name in the hat like 4 times now.
But
Nope. Nope. So anyways, turnkey business. This right here could be yours, but you have to go to dieseldave.com and enter. Remember, every $5 you spend on a t-shirt, apparel, whatever it is, gets you more entries to win. So, I'm excited about this, as you can see. I just used this truck for the first time to haul. Pulls great, it's smooth. It's different than ours because ours is a crew cab. Remember, we cut a door in and put a back seat there. This one still has a sleeper, so it's fully legal to go over the road. And I think you guys are gonna be excited. So we're gonna load up and take the HET on its first recovery mission, and I really hope we don't get stuck. So here we go.
Hey, it's gonna be a good day.
But how many accidents have you had on your driving record in the last 3 years?
10 years.
10 years?
7.
7 accidents?
And 10 years.
How many were your fault?
7.
Pretty squishy out here, folks.
It's kind of muddy. this is the moment of truth right now. Getting ready to go onto the actual lake bed, which, as you know, I have a love-hate relationship with because sometimes it's firm, sometimes it's not. Right now, luckily, it just looks sandy. It doesn't necessarily look swampy, but we're about to find out, huh, Jason?
You can kind of see there's an object out there. So if you're on an ATV and you look out there, it's a real draw to go and just see what it is. So we get, I mean, there's a lot of tracks. We get a lot of people that are operating on the lake bed just because of this thing. So when it's gone, that'll be a big help.
Today, we're gonna have one of two things happen. There's not gonna be any more objects out there, or there's gonna be a lot more objects out there.
Option A, please.
All right, guys, I've done a lot of cool things in my life, but I'm pretty sure that takes the cake. That was awesome. How awesome was that, dude? I know, dude. Just nerve-wracking because it just starts to just disappear from underneath you. But here we are. This is the crane. It's a good-sized crane. Like I said, this is probably every bit of, what do you think, Jimbo? 30,000?
Well, it started out 30.
Yeah, started out 30, and we don't know what's left. So interesting thing about this is obviously this was getting transported from the ranch on Antelope Island, and as the barge came across here and past the south tip of the island, those big waves come rolling across from the west side, and they just swamped the barge. And what's that out there? A little something out there.
Check it out.
Go check it out.
But yeah, so the story is that when they started coming this direction, they had no idea that there was a really strong west wind.
Yeah. Oh, because the island was blocking it.
The island
Yeah.
was shielding them from the wind. So when they came and lost that shielding from the island,
Things just got crazy, which is so weird because the elevation difference between right here and where we turned off can't be more than 5-6 feet.
yeah,
Right?
Probably not. It's probably about that.
So even when the shipwreck happened, I'll bet you the water was maybe 5 feet deep. Lake is at the lowest it's ever been, right?
Yep.
As far as we historically know.
Yep.
And the highest level is like 85 that we know.
Yeah.
And there's like water on State Street.
Mid-80s,
Yeah.
83, 84 was the big years.
So this is the crane. This is the boom, just literally full staff.
Kind of a material we got here.
I don't know, Jackknife Jim. I think that's probably a radiator, so I'm guessing copper.
You think so, Hans? Copper or aluminum?
Oh, it's gotta be copper.
That's copper.
Fortunate to have.
I'm so pumped. That truck is killing it. If we wouldn't have got those new tires, we would have been
they're
sunk.
a game changer.
Like,
It was
we do-
squishy out here.
Super squishy.
It was squishy.
We definitely would have been sunk. Like we're running really low air pressure right now. Be curious to put a scale on there and see kind of what we are ground pressure wise, because
That'll be
I bet
interesting.
it's less than the trucks.
Yeah.
Bud's truck was making deeper ruts than that was. So the plan right now is we're gonna cut the boom off basically right here so that we can flip the crane back over. I've got a trick that I want to try to use to flip the crane over. That's a new product that we have that I want to show you guys that we're gonna see if it's as reliable as we think it's gonna be. I'll tell you all about that here in just a second. You know, I'm just gonna tell you right now. Let's go. So the Brodozer recovery rope by Yankum. So our buddies at Yankum Ropes, you guys know they make ropes from like tiny ropes to big 2.5-inch ropes, and we've used them for everything. All of our recoveries are done with Yankum. We partnered with Yankum and we developed the Brodozer rope. Obviously Brodozer is my monster truck brand. It's also my brand, my baby. This rope right here, guys, as you can see, it's 1 inch diameter. It's 30 feet long, and it's rated at 33,500 pounds. And when you get your Yankum Brodozer rope, it's gonna come like this. It's gonna come in the bag. It'll come with this sheath right here, and then it comes with your soft shackle. And it's available now. But guess what? We didn't make very many of them, probably because the supply chain sucks right now and it's hard to get a hold of anything. So we've only got a handful of them, first come, first served. The link to buy that rope is in the description below. If you're one of my first Brodozer rope customers, I'm also gonna include something very special, a special surprise for you. I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet. I promise you it'll be more than just the rope. So guys, our plan right now is we're gonna show you what the Brodozer rope is capable of. Now, this is obviously a really heavy piece of equipment, probably 30,000 pounds, plus it's buried in the sand, so that add another extra 10, 15,000 pounds. Plus, it's at an angle, so we have to tip it up and over the angle. So we're gonna use one Brodozer rope on each side, just to give us the better chance of being able to get it to flip over. I wanted to try to use one rope because one rope might be able to do it, but look right here. There's nowhere really good to grab onto by just pulling with one. So if we only pull from one side, the thing's gonna wanna twist and it won't flip over. So my goal is to basically hook to there, and go bing bong.
Of chemistry going on right here, where the metal iron has oxidized out into the rust and formed in with the sand and the clay to form basically a hodgepodge of iron and clay mix, which is pretty hard. So I got to break that off before I can even use a torch. You can see, look at it.
This is a brand new crane back in the 80s. So 35 years old. That's what the lake will do to you. And this thing probably hasn't seen water in 15, 20 years. When the water level was high out here, like when the shipwreck happened, the water was still probably only like this deep. Because if it gets deeper than this, that means it goes into downtown Salt Lake. So very, very flat out here.
You know what?
That's a Huey.
This is,
Or so,
you're right. Yep, it is.
the crash out here?
You say that like, yeah, what's the story? Now you gotta finish the story.
Well, now, so Dave Shearer is the harbor master at Great Salt Lake Marina.
Yeah.
He mentioned that there was a Huey that crashed out here. And
Took it to the Ranger, pull it back.
UH-1H has a Huey tail boom. That's crazy. Yeah, let's drag it back. You wanna drag it back?
Where's the rest of it?
well, I don't know. You got to get the permission of the U.S. Army.
Hey, this is Gordon.
Gordon, Heavydsparks, how you doing?
Hey, I'm Durant. What can I do for you?
Dig it out a little bit. Let's winch it out real quick. Let's see what it does.
Yeah, I just don't want to cut the rope. That's a freaking Huey tail boom. Good. We're gonna put the Brodozer rope to its first test on the old Huey boom. That thing's buried in the sand. It's a lot heavier than it looks. It's all aluminum, so normally it wouldn't be. Normally you could actually almost probably roll it by hand, but the way it's sitting right now, we're gonna choke it with the rope, and then just get a running start on her. Yep, that's good. So this, guys, is what the Brodozer Yankum rope is best at. It's a kinetic rope. So it's designed to use energy from being tugged on, so you can use a lot of slack, hit the vehicle, hit whatever it is that you're trying to extract, and the rope does a little bit of a stretch, and then uses that energy to help you pull out. So we'll see if the Ranger's got what it takes. Remember, that's a soft shackle that comes with a rope right there, which are so
Soft shackles are so underrated.
Dude, so underrated.
Crazy.
That tiny little rope you would think is just like nothing. It's stronger than the rest of this. See, guys,
Success.
that's the beauty of an old kinetic rope. You can just hit it full speed a couple times and comes right out. We're gonna pull some sand out of it just because we are running low on traction right now. As you can see, we're sitting there just spinning. Whew. Unfortunately, this is going to give you a really good example of what we're going to be up against pulling the crane.
It's gonna be like pulling an anchor.
So this is where things could potentially get interesting. We're cutting the boom off of the crane, obviously, to be able to flip it over. But one thing I just totally didn't even think about is the fact that inside this boom is the ram that extends the boom. So we got a big hydraulic cylinder in there that we don't know if it's solid metal, full of hydraulic oil, empty. So the old oxy torch here is about to do some fun stuff. Could be mellow, could be crazy.
We're gonna get a little bit of a pull here, but we just want to make sure we don't bind our pull rope on the metal.
One thing I called it. I didn't call it. I said the eyelet would break.
What happened, Jim? Broke the eyelet right off of there. Glad no one was standing back there, or they would have had an eyelet sandwich. Yeah, so there's the crew over there. That's where the eyelet ended up. You see how far it actually flew. Okay. So that's how I tracked it. See these little divots in the mud. Followed these tracks all the way out there. They just got closer and closer together. That thing was hitting with some force when it first hit.
From a different leverage point.
Bolts sheared off the frame and the crane is ripping off the truck right now. That is some carnage. Was not expecting that today.
That was spicy.
That,
Yeah.
gosh, just destroyed it.
That's awesome. I'm not even mad. Hey, pump those big flies off.
Hey man, we're trying to clean up out here, okay? Really appreciate that.
Sporty.
My favorite line of this all so far is like, I did not expect that. Well, David.
Why don't we flip it the other way?
Over that
Roll it
freaking
over So that way, because all that's buried is the top head unit. All that stuff's underwater or under the sand. If we pull it that way with the big yankum, I bet we could get it to start going that way.
But then you're having to flip it over itself.
That's fine. That's not gonna be that hard to pull.
That'll help with the lifting of the main crane now, so.
The exact same position we were in before. No, that's good. We got it loose.
You feel the earth shake when it hit?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Whole place just. All right.
Yeah, she didn't want to go, so I just threw it down at first, and she goes. Burp.
I'm surprised we didn't get some real serious liquefaction there.
Yeah, let's grab the torch or the saw, whatever's easier.
What do you want to cut off?
We're gonna cut the legs off.
Okay.
Hey, we did it. Flipped her over, even with the cockeyed crane body. That's so funny. I'm not even mad.
Still got a lot of work to do on this thing here.
Moving out some sand to get another spot so we can run that choker around this leg. Then we're gonna rip it off. The other tank has been full before?
We've encountered just about every kind of issue you can imagine. I got way too overzealous with the crane this morning and tried pulling from just a ridiculously dumb angle. Had I repositioned the truck better before trying to pull, we probably wouldn't have bent the bed the way that it did. So obviously, haven't been able to use the crane. Luckily the crane's still on there, which is nice. This crane was way bigger and way heavier than we expected, the one that we're recovering. It's probably closer to like 50,000 pounds, and it was buried in that sand. So now we're basically using the big yankum rope, and if our truck was running right, we would be able to have this thing flipped over and out of here for no time. But all of a sudden the truck started getting real finicky. Don't know what's going on. Like maybe we got bad fuel filter. We're waiting for some fuel filters to come. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere. We're giving this thing as like a longer running start as we can get, but since the truck's not running that well, it's not getting it full power to be able to pull. So we got the crane almost tipped up, which would have been great. But even then, once we get tipped up, if this thing's not running very well, there's no way to drag it out of here. So I would say we're about halfway done. I'm still loving it. Still having a great time. I think everybody's probably getting a little worn out, a little hungry. But I love challenging. I love challenging recoveries like this. You'll learn a lot. I learned what not to do with the wrecker bed. This thing's got some serious work that needs to be done to it now. So now I'm gonna work on this stupid thing. Yeah, that's not ideal.
with some fuel filters and Gatorade and pizza.
What a good day.
No jalapenos though. They've been waiting 4 hours.
Grab the middle one because they'll be warmer.
I think it's probably gonna go as planned. I think it's already starting to move. So I think we'll get up on some more solid ground and it might just keep dragging for the next 2 miles back to the road.
Traction.
Oh, where I come from, these are the things I know. Never let your woman go, never break her heart. Oh, but where I come from, there's only miles of broken roads. Only love that'll never grow. It ends before it starts. Oh, where I come from, you died for the things you own. Never let your weakness show. You never pray to God. Oh, but where I come from, heaven is the full man's goal. It leads you anywhere but home. Leads you to nowhere.
Well, that's it, boys. And you're good. Start going.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a hell of a day. Listen, that was awesome. A lot of things, man, where do I even start? I mean, you guys saw, we broke a lot of equipment. We ultimately, I started the day probably off on the wrong foot by getting a little anxious or a little ambitious with the old wrecker here. And the angle that I was pulling, trying to lift the crane at, with how far I had the boom extended, there was just too much leverage for this thing. Also, this thing needed some significant repairs before we even brought it out here, so I wasn't surprised to see it break. I'm actually kind of stoked because it gives us an opportunity to improve it. Still was able to continue the mission for the most part. That crane is way heavier than we thought though. It's probably 50,000 pounds. That thing's a monster. The counterweight alone is probably, 10, 15,000 pounds. So anyways, what happened was we got, I'd say what, 3/4 of the way to the trucks. We're almost there. We got that thing quite a ways. We wheelied pretty much the entire way back. This truck was literally just wheeling across the lake bed. But unfortunately the weather came in, and as soon as that lake bed literally gets like a drop of water on it, it just turns into a skating rink. It just turns into just a total nightmare. Like we were running from the storm.
And it came in quick.
Really quick.
There was no warning.
No. It like literally
Instant.
just boom, hits you. And then what's funny is they'll hit the storm. Like we're like 3 miles away, probably like 5 miles away from where the crane was. The storm just did like a big like U-turn and went like north or south. It's not hitting right here. So what this means is you guys get a bonus second video, and the second video is going to be super cool because we are going to bring another very, 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 very capable machine out to help this bad boy get that crane off the lake, because ultimately it's going to take 2 trucks just because it's so soft. This has the power to do it. It just keeps on sinking, so we need the traction, and we're going to bring something with all the traction. Literally all the traction. And then we're also going to be able to come out and clean up all the parts and pieces and make it look like this never happened. So we're not going to be able to do that tomorrow because it's supposed to be bad weather. Probably the next day, can't do that either. So it'll probably be like 2 or 3 days before we're able to come back. But the next video we do out here, you guys are going to absolutely love. Today, I hope you love this video because that was wild. Also, if you want to buy one of the world's most ridiculously strong tow ropes, which you guys saw, literally, remember, it broke the bed of my wrecker before it would break our Brodozer tow ropes. Like I said, we only have a limited supply of them, so if you want one, click the link in our description below, grab yourself a rope, and get ready for the next video because I'm guessing it's probably going to be just a little bit more wild than this one. So buckle up.